Good afternoon, my dear students. Welcome back to your online class. Today I am going to start your science class, chapter 5. This is under biology portion, the fundamental unit of life, that is cell. You all know to this. And this is the basic structural and functional unit of our life. Okay. Now, so we know that all living organisms in this universe made up of cells, and they either exist as a single cell or as a combination of multiple cells. Okay. And then first cell was discovered by scientist Robert Hooke at 1665. Okay, and he noticed the presence of cell in a cork slice. So where he noticed? In a cork slice. So the first cell discovered by Robert Hooke, it was a dead cell. Okay. Next, after that, at 1674, Anton van Leeuwenhoek discovered or found the presence of living cell in the pond water. Okay. After that, Robert Brown at 1831, he recognized the existence of nucleus in a cell. Okay. Next, the scientist Purkinje at 1839, he invented the term protoplasm, which is a liquid present in a cell, that is cytoplasm plus nucleus portion of a cell. Okay. Next, there was a cell theory given by two biologists, name was Sladen and Swan. Sladen given his cell theory at 1838 and Swan at 1839, and there they presented the cell theory that all organisms are actually made of cells. Now after that, at 1855, another scientist Rudolf Virchow, he expanded the cell theory and he told that all cells, they are actually arise from pre-existing cells. So he suggested that all cells come from the pre-existing cell or the cells which are already exist in nature. Okay. So I hope you understood. So the cell theory, a cell is a structural and functional unit of living organisms. Okay, and all the living organisms are made of cells, and cells are formed from pre-existing cell. So this all about the cell theory. Okay. Now on the basis of a cell or more than one cell present in the organisms are divided into two parts. One was unicellular organism, another was multicellular organism. You know, the organism that consists of a single cell is known as unicellular organisms, and the organisms which contain various cells and perform different activities or function in the organism, such as plants, animals, fungi. Okay. So these are multicellular organisms. Okay. Now, how can multicellular organism originate from a single cell? The answer is the cell has the capability to divide itself into cells of its own type, that is known as cell division. So therefore, more cells can generate from an existing cell. Okay. So here we have come to know that multicellular organisms originate from single cell. Okay. Now there are different types of cells present in our body, you know, and the cells have different shape also, and the shape of the cell may vary depending upon the type of function they perform in an organisms. Okay. Anyone having any problem? They can tell me. Yes, cells are capable of changing their shape. For example, the white blood cell and amoeba can change shape on their own. White blood cell, you know, that is erythrocyte or leukocyte. Please write in your chat box. Okay. You know the function of white blood cell? Okay, very good. And amoeba can also change their shapes on their own. From your book, page number 58, there you can see figure 5.3. There are different types of cells with their different size and shape. Various cells from the body of human body. Red blood cell, muscle cell, then neuron or nerve cell, ovum, sperm, fat cell, etc. Okay? So how can cells perform distinct function in organisms? Cells are capable of performing multiple functions in an organism. Okay? Now our cells contain specific components which are called organelles. Okay? And each organelles in the cell perform different functions such as making new cells and also clearing the waste of the cell, and thus organelles allows a cell to perform several kind of activities in an organism. Okay? So here we have seen that how cells perform distinct or different function in organisms. Okay? I hope you understood up to this portion. Anyone having any problem, they can tell me. Yes? So we have come to know about the cell performance, and now the organization of the cell. As we know the structure and component of a cell, from structure and component of a cell contains mainly three features. One is the plasma membrane, the nucleus and cytoplasm. You know where plasma membrane is there, nucleus is there and cytoplasm is there. Now the plasma membrane, it is just like an envelope that covers the whole cell. So it acts like an envelope that covers the whole cell. It is also known as cell membrane. Okay, therefore a cell gets separated from the external environment because it has plasma membrane. Okay, now the plasma membrane has the capability to decide which material should enter or leave the cell, which should not. Okay, and so that plasma membrane is known as selectively permeable membrane. Selectively permeable membrane. So the plasma membrane is known as selectively permeable membrane. From the term you can easily get the point. Okay? Selectively permeable membrane. Now the plasma membrane, actually the plasma membrane was described by a model called fluid mosaic model. What is that? Fluid mosaic model. Okay? That was described by a scientist called Nicholson. So fluid mosaic model, this is actually explains the structure of plasma membrane. Okay? And according to this, plasma membrane comprises of three components: lipids, proteins and carbohydrates. So according to this fluid mosaic model, plasma membrane was composed of lipids, proteins and carbohydrate. These three things were there. Carbohydrates. Okay. So these three things were main components of plasma membrane according to this fluid mosaic model. Now these components can flow freely and fluidly inside the plasma membrane. Okay. And there are two types of lipids. Lipids are actually or fats type in plasma membrane. They are called phospholipid, cholesterol, that you will come to know in higher classes. Okay. So the protein actually also present as receptor in the cell and help in transportation across the cell membrane. Okay. And the plasma membrane is actually plasma membrane here act as selectively permeable membrane, and there the protein act as receptor and help the transportation across the cell membrane, and the carbohydrate attach themselves with the lipids, proteins substance and are found on extracellular side of the membrane. Okay. Now, how can the substance move in and out of a cell? How their exchange taking place? Gaseous exchange between cell and its external environment that is taking place means maybe there is movement of oxygen, carbon dioxide to and from the cell and carried by means of diffusion. And gaseous substance like have a tendency to move to the areas where the concentration is less from the area from where there is higher. Okay, so the movement is defined as diffusion, and diffusion can take place in solid, liquid and gases. Okay, and movement of water between cell and its external environment that is carried away by osmosis, and osmosis is a process by which water moves from a region of higher concentration to lower concentration and through a semi-permeable membrane, and therefore we can say that osmosis is just a special case of the process of diffusion. So what is the basic difference between osmosis and diffusion? Understood the thing? Yes. What is the basic difference? Yes. In osmosis, there is requirement of semi-permeable membrane. But in diffusion, there is no such requirement of semi-permeable membrane. And another thing you must say, that is osmosis, that is limited to the liquid medium. But diffusion, that occurs in both solid, liquid and gas medium. These three mediums. Okay. So the basic difference I have told you, and another difference between this diffusion and osmosis, that is the flow of particle that is actually taking place in case of osmosis, that is unidirectional, means in one direction it is taking place, but in case of diffusion the flow of particle in all directions. Okay, so I hope you understood. Anyone having any problem, they can tell me, and in the next class I will discuss more about the solution, different types of solution, hypertonic, hypotonic, isotonic, and some other examples of these osmosis, diffusion. Okay, and next we will start from cell wall, nucleus and other organelles, cytoplasm and other organelles of cell. Okay. Okay, if you have any problem you can ask me, students. I am there for you. Yes. Okay, you have no problem. Okay, thank you, have a nice day, goodbye.